The bright stage lights glared across the huge, America's Got Talent stage as a young Filipino boy stepped forward, his small frame almost swallowed by the massive set behind him. His heart pounded like a drum as he gripped the microphone with both hands. The audience whispered softly, wondering what such a young contestant would do next. Cameras zoomed in on his wide, anxious eyes, capturing every heartbeat of tension. Simon Cowell sat at the judges' table, his trademark skeptical expression unchanged. Next to him, Sofia Vergara and Howie Mandel smiled encouragingly, while Heidi Klum gave the boy a little wave. The boy took a shaky breath and introduced himself in a soft voice. "Hello, my name is Ethan, and I'm from the Philippines," he said, his accent delicate but clear. The audience responded with a polite applause. Simon leaned forward, folding his hands. "And what will you be singing for us today, Ethan?" The boy hesitated for a second before answering, "An Elvis Presley song, sir." That simple sentence shifted the mood in the entire theater. A murmur ran through the audience, half surprise, half amusement. A kid singing Elvis? Simon raised an eyebrow. He had seen countless performers claim they could channel the king, but few ever came close. The silence that followed was heavy, almost expectant. Then, the familiar opening guitar riff began. The moment Ethan started singing, everything changed. A rich, deep tone poured from his mouth, smooth and soulful beyond his years. The judges' eyes widened almost instantly. The transformation was shocking. Gone was the timid boy, and in his place stood someone who seemed to channel the very spirit of Elvis Presley himself. The crowd fell silent, as if frozen by the magic of the sound. Simon blinked slowly, disbelief flickering in his eyes. Sophia covered her mouth in surprise. Howie leaned back in his chair, shaking his head with a grin. It was one of those rare AGT moments where pure talent transcended expectation. The song filled the theater, warm, nostalgic, alive. Every syllable rolled perfectly, every pause carried confidence, and Ethan's eyes glimmered under the lights as if he was truly lost in the music. By the time he reached the first chorus, the audience had already begun cheering. People stood up, clapping in rhythm. The boy's fear melted away with each note, replaced by joy and a glow that seemed to shine straight from his heart. He smiled, not nervously now, but proudly, and continued singing like he had waited for this moment all his life. When the music ended, there was a second of silence, then a thunderous roar of applause. The little boy's dream had just come to life before millions. As the second round of the performance began, something truly magical happened. The once shy boy turned into a star before everyone's eyes. His shoulders relaxed, his smile grew wider, and the way he moved across the stage was pure showmanship. He didn't just sing Elvis, he became Elvis. The iconic hip sways, the smooth hand gestures, and the electrifying charisma poured out naturally, as if this young Filipino kid had been born for that very stage. The crowd couldn't believe what they were seeing. Every note hit perfectly, every emotion was sincere. The sound engineer leaned back, shaking his head in awe. The boy's voice didn't need any tuning or enhancement. It was raw, powerful, and soulful. The lights pulsed gold and blue, creating an old-school Vegas feel, transporting everyone back to the golden era of rock and roll. Simon, who rarely showed emotion, began smiling, a genuine, wide smile that fans of the show rarely saw. He nodded along to the rhythm, his eyes glowing with admiration. He whispered something to Sophia, who nodded in agreement. "He's got it," Simon muttered, tapping his fingers on the table. "That spark, that magic." Backstage, Ethan's parents held hands tightly, tears welling in their eyes. They had watched their son sing countless times at home, but this was beyond imagination. Their little boy wasn't just performing, he was owning the stage. Every lyric carried pride and love for the music that transcended generations. The audience began chanting, "Elvis, Elvis, Elvis," and Ethan laughed mid-performance, feeling like he was truly part of something extraordinary. The energy of the crowd fed his confidence, his voice soaring even higher. When he hit the final bridge, the music swelled, and Simon stood up before the song even ended. His grin said it all, he was utterly captivated. Ethan finished the song with a flawless, heartfelt finale, holding the last note until the music faded into complete silence. That silence lasted for only a breath before the entire theater erupted again. It wasn't just applause, it was celebration, the sound of joy, disbelief, and appreciation all rolled into one. When the final note of Ethan's performance echoed away, the stage lights dimmed slightly, leaving him standing in a warm golden glow. For a moment, He just stood there, stunned, clutching the microphone to his chest. The crowd had exploded into cheers, people were on their feet, waving their hands, shouting his name. Some even wiped away tears. Simon Cowell, still smiling, rose from his chair. His applause was slow at first, deliberate, then strong and loud. That, he said when the cheers finally died down, was pure magic. His words cut through the noise, and Ethan's eyes widened. Simon's praise meant the world, it was the ultimate validation that he had truly touched hearts. Sophia leaned toward her mic, eyes sparkling. Ethan, you're not just talented, you're special. You brought Elvis back to life tonight. Howie added, you made us all forget your age. You sang like a legend. Heidi smiled warmly, saying, you were born to be on stage. That was iconic. As the golden confetti began to rain from above, Ethan's parents rushed forward from backstage, hugging him tightly. His mother's tears sparkled under the lights as she whispered, you did it, Anik. The boy looked up at the crowd, overwhelmed by emotion, unable to stop smiling. Simon turned to the audience and said, moments like this remind me why we do this show. That performance, that voice, will be remembered. The camera zoomed in on Simon's rare full smile, a moment fans would replay for years to come. The golden stage lights reflected in Ethan's eyes as he bowed deeply, holding back tears. The applause didn't stop, it rolled like thunder, filling the entire arena. For that brief, shining moment, a young Filipino boy had not only conquered a global stage but also brought back the timeless magic of Elvis Presley. It wasn't just a performance. It was a miracle in music, and a moment that made Simon Cowell smile like never before.